Are you tired of buying clothes that don't fit right or don't match your style? Have you ever wanted to create your own unique fashion pieces? Are you interested in sewing but don't know where to start? Do you feel like you don't have the skill? Have you been putting off learning how to sew for years? Do you feel like you've missed your chance to start? If you answered yes to one of these questions, you're not alone. You're in the right place. In today's video, I want to share about how to get started sewing and stay motivated in 2024. Sewing is a wonderful hobby that can bring so much joy and creativity into your life. But if you're new to sewing, it can be intimidating to get started. That's why I'm here to share some tips and tricks to help beginners sew their way to success in 2024. These tips will help you get started on the right foot. It's never too late to learn how to sew, and 2024 is the perfect year to start. So if you're ready to conquer your fears and unleash your creativity, keep watching. So, what are the first steps you need to take? Let's explore. First things first. Know why you want to start sewing. Before you start sewing, it's important to know why you want to do it. Sewing can be a fulfilling hobby. So why you want to start sewing? Do you want to save money? Sewing your own clothes, home decor, and gifts can be a cost-effective alternative to buying them from a store. To express creativity. Sewing allows you to express your creativity and make something unique with your own hands. To learn a new skill. Sewing is a valuable skill that can come in handy in many different situations. To create custom pieces. Sewing allows you to create custom pieces that fit your personal style and preferences. To connect with others. Sewing can be a social activity that brings people together. You can join a sewing group or take a class to meet other sewists and learn new skills. To relax and de-stress. Sewing can be a therapeutic activity that helps you relax and distress. It can help you focus on the present moment and forget about your worries. Please let me know in the comments section why you want to start sewing. After you know why you start sewing, we move to the second tip. Invest in basic sewing equipment. Here is some basic sewing equipment you might need to get started. A good sewing machines. Look for a machine that is easy to use, has a variety of stitches, and is within your budget. You don't need to spend a lot of money to get a good machine, but investing in a quality machine will make your sewing experience much more enjoyable. Scissors. A good pair of scissors is essential for cutting fabric. Look for a pair that is sharp and comfortable to hold. Pins. Pins are used to hold fabric in place while you sew. Look for pins that are long enough to hold multiple layers of fabric. Seam ripper. Seam ripper is used to remove stitches if you make a mistake. Look for a seam ripper that is sharp and easy to use. Measuring tape. Measuring tape is used to measure fabric and ensure that your projects are the right size. Look for a measuring tape that is flexible and easy to read. Thread is used to sew fabric together. Look for thread that is strong and matches the color of your fabric. Fabric. This is the material you will be sewing. Look for fabrics that are easy to work with, such as cotton or linen. Avoid fabrics that are too slippery or stretchy, as they can be difficult to sew. Iron and ironing board. Iron and ironing board is used to press fabric and create crisp seams. Look for an iron that is easy to use and has adjustable heat settings. After you have basic equipment, we move to the third tip. Start with simple projects. When you're just starting out, it's important to start with simple projects that you can complete quickly. This will help you build your confidence and develop your skills. Some good beginner projects include a tote bag, a pillowcase, a scrunchie, apron, or a simple skirt. Look for fabrics that are easy to work with, such as cotton or linen. Choosing the right fabric is a key to a successful sewing project. The fourth tip is, take your time. Sewing requires patience and attention to detail. Take your time and don't rush through your projects. Rushing through your projects can lead to mistakes and frustration. If you make a mistake, don't get discouraged. Mistakes are a natural part of the learning process. Here are some tips to help you reduce mistakes. Prepare your workspace. Before you start sewing, make sure your workspace is clean and organized. This will help you stay focused and avoid distractions. Read the instructions carefully. Read the instructions carefully and make sure you understand each step. If you're not sure about something, don't be afraid to ask for help. Take breaks. Sewing can be a time-consuming activity, so it's important to take breaks to rest your eyes and hands. Take a short walk, stretch, or do some other activity to give your mind and body a break. Use pins. Pins are essential for holding fabric in place while you sew. Take your time and use plenty of pins to ensure that your fabric stays in place. Sew slowly. Sewing requires patience and precision. Take your time and sew slowly to ensure that your stitches are straight and even. Check your work. After you've finished sewing a seam, check your work to make sure it's straight and even. If you notice any mistakes, don't be afraid to remove the stitches and start again. The fifth tip is, learn from others. There are many resources available for beginner sewists, including Sewing Group. Joining a sewing group is a great way to connect with other sewists and learn new skills. Look for local sewing groups in your area or join an online community to connect with sewists from around the world. Sewing tutorials. There are many sewing tutorials available online that can help you learn new skills and techniques. Look for tutorials on YouTube or other video sharing platforms to learn from experienced sewists. Attend sewing events. Sewing events such as craft fairs and fabric sales are a great way to connect with other sewists and learn about new products and techniques. Ask for advice. Don't be afraid to ask other sewists for advice or feedback. They may have tips and tricks that can help you improve your skills and create better projects. Take advantage of the above resources to learn new skills. The sixth and more important tip is, practice, practice, practice. The more you sew, the better you'll get. Practice your skills by making simple projects. As you become more confident, you can move on to more complex projects. Set aside time to practice. Sewing requires time and dedication. Set aside time each week to practice your skills and work on new projects. Challenge yourself. As you become more confident, challenge yourself with more complex projects. Try new techniques and experiment with different fabrics and patterns. Finally, fun. Sewing should be a fun and enjoyable hobby. Don't get too caught up in perfectionism or making everything look perfect. Remember to enjoy the process and have fun. Sewing can be a fun and rewarding hobby that allows you to express your creativity and make unique pieces that reflect your personal style. But if you're not having fun, it can quickly become frustrating and overwhelming. Now let's see some tips to have fun. Experiment with different fabrics and patterns. Don't be afraid to experiment with different fabrics and patterns. Trying new things can be a fun and rewarding experience. Listen to music or podcasts. Listening to music or podcasts can help you relax and help you stay focused the process of sewing. Celebrate your successes. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small they may be. Completing a project can be a fun and rewarding experience, so take the time to celebrate your accomplishments. Thank you for watching my video on sewing tips and tricks for beginners. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single stitch. Don't be afraid to experiment and try new things. You never know what you might discover. So grab your needle and thread and start sewing. I hope that you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more sewing tutorials and inspiration. Happy sewing!